you don't always discover what your true nature is. When I was little, I used to live for a short period of time at my mom's house, near which in the neighborhood resided her grandma, who was a very interesting character and who was very strange. And she was an old woman, very old woman, who lived alone after having two unsuccessful marriages in her early life. After which she said that I tried it 2 times, that's enough. And in her later years, she just lived alone without communicating with too many people. Although she had some friends and was eloquent and had interesting ideas. But I was kind of, reluctant when it came to her because she was very unusual and also didn't have a TV set, not even a radio set. So it was a miracle how she was capable to live all by herself with little money, doing most things, not needing a man, and all of that. Although she was very beautiful in her youth, and they used to talk a lot about her looks. But as I realized now, she was very strong and liked to be alone, and I was able to do it because this is also a talent that not all people possess. And I changed my opinion about her when I got mature enough to understand both the world around me and myself. And I realize now that I resonate with her a lot, and we would have found things to discuss about. But one of the reasons that I also didn't like her was because she didn't used to take a bath too often. So when she visited us, we had to open the doors and to let some fresh air come in, because she was coming with her own distinct perfume. But you know how it is. It's people have different personalities, and it was in a small village, very rudimentary, and she had an old house, very small, and it was like a hut more. But she was happy with her life, and now that I look upon her, I understand that she was what we might call today an enlightened being. And also used to practice witchcraft, or at least that's what she pretended. And when she got mad, she used to curse. And I remember once as I was 7 years old, and kids can be cruel sometimes. So I started throwing stones, little stones like pebbles. Pebbles, that's the word. Started throwing pebbles on her roof, and it was like 8 p.m. in the summer night. So she didn't know who was doing that, but of course she got mad, and she started uh, naming me, whoever I was, bad words, and casting spells upon me, and that all my family should die and things like that. But I enjoyed the thrill of it, not gonna lie. And I remember I came back, and my mom asked me, why was my grandma mad about? Don't you know? And I said, no, I didn't. But you know how mischievous can kids be, and I enjoy to poke the bear. But as I reminisce about it, I understand profoundly that I'm slowly but surely becoming more and more like her, and that's cool, because the ability to live by yourself is very important, and to us INFJs, it's like fresh air. Of course, we shouldn't romanticize this too much, because if you are isolated for too long, you become paranoid, because we are wired to have some connection in some way, because that depended on our survival in the early stages of the humanity's development. So we can't get rid of that totally. It's like a vaccine to us, knowing and meeting with people from time to time, but the best is to have a small circle with trusted friends, and to hang out with them, and retreat in your den when you've had enough, and that happens. So yeah, I wanted to make this video about the sweet and bitter taste of solitude, which is essential to preserving your personality, because when you are around people for too much, you have to recognize at some point that you have to make compromises, and that your personality is washed out to some extent. And it's not only about the fact that you have to be polite. Our herd instinct is too strong, so when you dwell too much among people, it's like your lizard brain starts to function at its highest capacity, and you become a crowd animal instead of an individual. I'm not saying it's bad or wrong, but it's sometimes too much if you are an introvert. So we kind of have to find the middle ground, and to juggle between these two extremes, and learn how to be around people. I got good at that with time, or at least better than I ever thought I would, thanks to my propensity to watching movies, and I've seen a profligacy of them. So yeah, but what is important to remember and be aware of is that most of your good ideas come when you are alone. And I've noticed that my brain functions better when I'm isolated. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just too differently wired, but you're kind of sure of what you are thinking, and so your brain explores the same paths, so to speak, and you have some deep revelations, and from which stem creative ideas. Surely you have to hang around our peers in order to gather something new, but you are only synthesizing the information adequately and in a clear manner when you spend time with yourself. On top of that, most individuals are boring and they repeat themselves, and it's difficult, especially when you get easily bored and you hate small talk. That's another downside of hanging out and chatting. It's dull, and I know that it's like I remember I told this to one girl, and she said that small talk, it's like saying nothing, and I understood what she meant, especially when you take into consideration, and I don't wanna sound too misogynistic, but we have to admit that and take into account the fact that women are more prone to just share emotions when talking, and they tend sometimes to not even finish the sentence. They understand each other very fast. But generally speaking, men are more inclined to gather information actually, and that's the thrill of it. And so if you are built like that, it's hard actually to form stable connections, because at a certain point you just don't want to talk regularly to someone. That doesn't mean that you don't like them anymore, but you just had enough of them, and you already can predict their train of thought, and that doesn't make it interesting at all. And it's difficult to convey that because most don't understand this, and they are also not as intuitive as we are. So often it's like we are separated by a wall of fixed beliefs and preconceptions. But we shouldn't take things to the extreme because we need human connection. Although it might seem like a vaccine or like a ill taste medicine or some repugnant herbs that you have to take only because it's good for you. Of course, I'm exaggerating this to a certain extent, but I believe, get where I'm hinting at. So, and yeah, I kind of lean more towards finding a balance and acquiring a certain circle of people with whom you know that you feel comfortable and who are on your wavelength, and from whom you receive energy and encouragement sometimes, but you never know, so it's better to find the power within yourself. So yeah, however, if somebody wanted me to choose between one of the opposite, of course I would opt to be alone, because the amount of insight that you gather by doing this is incredible. You learn a lot of things about yourself and about your psychology and about life and existence in general, because after all, the general information out there is limited. So at a certain point in life, you kind of learn everything, not in the way that you know all the details, but you have already explored the niche or niches of knowledge that interest you, and perhaps you might have also tried completely different things, and you already are familiar with where things are going, at least on a general and day-to-day basis. And that's a very presumptuous statement to make, but also sad in some way, because it makes you listless. And yeah, and you're only stimulated by new things. So loneliness in this respect is similar to to sleep, because we need to be away in a certain extent in order to continue to do the things that we are daily repeating, and I'm referring here to taking a nap. And loneliness has the same role of recharging your batteries and regaining interest in what seems otherwise absurd and superficial and repetitive. So, yeah, let me know where you stand in this spectrum, so to speak. How much of an introvert are you? What do you do to refill your energy? And what are the people that you like to hang out with? Have a nice day and stay cool.